You are watching Radio Rakim's Artist Access.
Access granted.
Welcome back to another episode of the Artist Access. I'm your host, Siraj Rich God. I'm Pooh Akhenaten Hotep. And man, look, we back with another phenomenal, awesome, dope show as always. But today, man, I got some special people in the building. My first guest, man, I know y'all probably been like, where she been at? Where she at? Like, today she is with us today. You heard me? Look, we have none other than Bella, the speaker, in the building. How you doing, Queen?
Man, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here.
We happy to have you.
I've been in the house for a minute, you feel me? But I'm glad to be in the space, man. This is beautiful, man. This is everything. Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes we need that little break.
No, yeah, for sure.
Step back and get life situated.
For
you know what I'm talking about?
For sure.
So, but if you don't mind, like, just take us to what you been doing? You know, we ain't seen you in a minute out here in these poetry streets. You know what I'm talking about?
So what have I been doing? Honestly, I just stepped back into the space.
Mm-hmm.
I was hiding for a minute off the strength of being a mom, man, taking care of my kids. I had a son. My son is now
Congratulations.
1 year old.
Wow.
Shout out to my son.
It's been
shout out
a
to my
year.
daughter, shout out
Wow.
to my wife.
Wow.
Being at home, being a mom. But aside from that, there were certain elements of the space that just weren't aligned with who I was as an artist. So it was a much needed, you know what I'm saying, sabbatical almost. You feel me? Like I had to take a break. I had to repurpose and understand why it was that I was in the space to begin with. Because you get lost in the sauce sometimes. But I'm grateful to be back. Yeah. I can't stay away.
Have you performed since?
I have.
I had a dream that you performed like a couple nights ago. I don't know why, but I remember being in the dream performing.
So what's today? Today is Sunday. I had a performance on Friday at the Houston Club. Shout out to the Houston Club. It was when I tell you a vibe, views from the six.
Did you miss it? Did you really like? I missed this. Look,
I think it wasn't even like I missed it. It was just like it to me. It wasn't like I never left. On me. So you can't miss nothing. That's you know what I'm saying. When it's yours, it's yours. So I stepped on the stage. I did my thing. I enjoyed the space. The lady that asked me to come out was working on a sector for mental health awareness. Shout out to May. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental madness in the building. But she was opening her release party for what it is that she was trying to, you know what I'm saying, bring together for like mental health awareness for people that have survived trauma. And it's called After. And when she asked me to perform, I was like, what you want me to perform? Like, I got pieces in the closet, but I don't really know what you want me to do. And she was like, it was this one piece that I saw at this one show, and you was saying, dee-dee-dee-da. And I'm like,
did you remember what you're talking about?
That one piece at the one show, you feel me? But no, I did some digging, I did some research, and I found it, and that was what she requested, so that's what I gave, and they ate it up. And, you know, sometimes I be hesitant, because, you know, my poetry is not clean poetry. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. She was like, nah, give it to him. All right, if it's kids up in here, y'all might want to get, you know what I'm saying? But no, it was definitely a blessing to be in the space. But I've also performed, I can't even remember. I had a show somewhere else. I've been in small spaces and places, but just not trying to overexert myself like I did the first time. Trying to just give myself grace and mercy and move the best way that I can. But I'm back, for sure. I'm back for sure. Like I never left. It's like riding a bike for sure.
And look, I remember seeing you when you was posting the pictures of when you was pregnant. You was posting through the whole little process.
Yeah.
Then you kind of fell back a little bit. And then I remember you had the baby. And then I saw you posted a picture like body didn't snap back like
y'all ain't even see it coming. Nah, blessings, man, because a lot of moms were following me on my pregnancy journey.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that I had the impact that I did as far as my social media stance goes. Because, you got followers here and there, but who really be tapping into you and feeding off of your energy.
Right.
Moms were like tapping in for real. And one of the biggest things that I stressed with my last pregnancy was like, shadow work, like knowing that it's okay to have like the negative feelings that you have, not feeling like you have to like shade or, watch what you say, because there are people that are unable to have kids, but just because of A's or B's, that don't mean that my feelings are invalid. So really just stepping up and speaking for moms that go through like pregnancy, like depression, like anxiety, like mental like things, and doing my best to be as open and free and transparent as possible, because stuff that I say, a lot of people aren't going to say. Right. You know what I'm saying? Using my voice to let people know y'all not by yourself.
Right.
Because there were times in my pregnancy where I was like, Jesus, take the wheel. I can't do this. I'm going to have to take that ride to Louisiana because this ain't going to work. Like, that's how deep in it I had gotten. Wow. And I didn't even know that it was a son. I was having a son. He's the first out of 24 years, like 3 generations. We don't have any boys. Wow. So, I'm sitting in here fighting this fight, but all in God's time and in God's will. He knew, like, yeah, you tough enough to go through it. I'm going to give you your son. So I was blessed, like, immensely blessed. But I ain't going to lie and say that 9 months, I'd have done a 9-month sentence instead of that 9 months of pregnancy. Boy, y'all could have locked me up. You know what I'm saying? But no, he's a blessing. He's a blessing. And then my daughter.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 7.
Okay, 7 years old.
She turned 7 in March. Hey, Callie. Mama, can I go with you? I'm like, not right now. Not this time. Next time.
This is a kid from the
She's dying to see me perform, so I'm going to have to put her in a space and a place. Yeah. But she's a great big sister. Yeah. Like, amazing. And she carries so much like maturity for her to be 7. So she's made the transition with having a baby seamless. And then my
big
wife,
sister energy, huh?
I'm talking about big sister energy. Like, she'll go up against me and my wife on any day behind her brother. Like, but off the strength of, like, she helps us, make sure he's square too. So it's been different because, like I said, we haven't had boys in 24 years. Right. But it's been a blessing too. Like, my baby love me for real. Like, it's different, but it's the same. Everybody says, when you have your son, it ain't nothing like having a son. Like, having a daughter is one thing, but having a son is something totally different. And I'm grateful because I have both. So I'm right where I need to be. Right where I need to be.
Right. Let me tell you something. One of the things I miss from seeing you on the portrait scene is the energy.
Come on.
Your energy. I would tell you this. Your energy is like, you got that young, you got kid energy. You
definitely,
just super hype.
Definitely.
I love your energy. You electrify the space that you be in when you be in it. You know what I'm talking about?
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, come on. Snap it up for the energy. You feel me?
And so I miss that. I miss that energy. Even though I got energy like that too. That's probably why.
No,
I
for real, because I'm like, dude,
saying?
You kind of like facilitated a lot of the time. You bring it out of the space. No, honestly, that was something that I had to realize with my show that I had this past weekend. Like, half the time they hearing me, you feel me? Like, poets hear me. Poets listen. They listen for the wordplay. They listening for the similes, the metaphors, all the things. But when people don't know poetry, they just listening. So a lot of the time, it takes that you finna watch me energy for them to even tune in to what you're saying. I don't even think half of them knew what I was talking about, but they was watching. They watching me move through the room. You feel me? Like, oh, she's great. What I say though, I don't know what she's saying, but I know she's saying something good. Like, and me being able to express that energy and be free with that energy. Like, poetry has always been a place where I could genuinely, authentically be myself, do what I want to do, say what I want to say, and act how I want to act. So I take full advantage of that when I get on stage. Y'all finna get all this work. Like, all eyes on me. Right. What y'all doing? If you got your phones up, it's because you're recording. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But I love it. I enjoy it. And I get a kick out of giving people their money's worth. People pay time, money, and energy when they come to these shows. And if you're not giving them the entertainment, you feel me? Like, I want people to know, like, she was good. She was good. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Show you right.
You're definitely all performer. You know what I'm saying? I can relate because I'm the same way. Like,
yes, sir. Talk about it.
I was doing music first, right? So when I'm on stage, it be the rapper me still performing the poetry.
Yeah.
So
Come out.
I can't just stand there and just talk. I got to move. I got to move. Everything giving you
for
poetry.
sure.
You know
the hands, the arms, the everything. I can't.
You know
That's crazy you say that because that. You know what I'm saying? That's been a challenge for me. Like, I can't stand on stage behind a podium and deliver a poem. I've never been able to do that. And some artists can stand on stage behind a podium and give it to you and you feel it just the same. Yeah. But for me, I'm finna come out here and I'm finna talk to y'all for real. I want y'all to hear what I gotta say. If that means I gotta come sit by you and give you this work, I'm gonna do that because it's deeper than me just talking to you. I want you to feel my energy. You know what I'm saying? You go to the movies. When you go to the movies, you don't go to the movies to just watch the movie. The movie does something inside of you. It moves your emotions. You either gonna be scared, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna resonate something. But you paid to get those feelings and those emotions. I have to give it to you. I got to give it to you. Paid. I got to give it to you. I got to give it to you.
Oh, Bella. So now, are you still a teacher?
I am.
You teach kids too.
Lord have mercy. See, he finna.
What's the age you teach?
Woo! Currently, I teach first grade, so we're gonna say 6 and 7 year olds. Yeah, 6 and 7 year olds.
They got something to do. They got to deal with you.
What a drink at this point, you understand? No, I am in my 10th year of education. Shout out to all the educators that's tuned in. Keep going, and don't let them mess you up. Don't let the bastards grind you down. I've been in education for 10 years, and right now I teach first grade kids in a very, very rough, very impoverished, very like, you know what I'm saying, type of situation. So it's a daily battle. On top of me trying to deliver curriculum, I'm dealing with
you dealing with the homeless,
all the things. I'm dealing with the mental.
You're
I'm dealing
counselor
with
and a teacher.
Oh my God, the counselor, the teacher, the ATM, the nurse, the mama, the auntie, the hairdresser, all the things. And honestly, it can get overwhelming. I talked to my therapist today. You feel me? Like just on some like just keep me on the straight and narrow because I'm just trying to be the best that I can be for the kids. But I go in every day as optimistic as I can be. I try to, you know what I'm saying, give myself a fresh start. But it's hard, man, dealing with kids that have, you know what I'm saying, real life shit going on. Like, they not coming here just, you know what I'm saying, fucking up your classroom for nothing. They come in here because I ain't been fed, or I ain't took a bath in a couple of days, or my mama wasn't there last night, or my mama was there and other people was there too. And, you know what I'm saying, just all the things. And for somebody like myself, like, I didn't come from poverty. I didn't come from, you know what I'm saying, struggle and strife. My mama did what she had to do, in spite of the fact that she was a single mama. 3, shout out to my mama. Hey, mama, love you. Yeah. They come angry. You feel me? So it's like a reset every day with little bitty kids. Like, these are babies. They just not learn how to wipe ass for real. Like, so having to reset and reset and reset to send them back home every day, it can be a struggle. But I can say this year was the first year that I've gotten to see kids from my very first year teaching. Like, they're 18 and 19 now, graduating, and they remember me still. They come to the school and they like, and I'm like, you, and they like, no, you, and I'm like, wow. Like, it's great to know that I've had an impact on the kids the way that I've had, and I think that's been the biggest takeaway from it. In all of my days of struggle and strife, like, knowing that I impacted a kid, that's all I need, and I'm content with that. You feel me? Like, I know y'all gonna give me a hard time tomorrow, but 10 years from now, you're gonna see me in the grocery store and you're gonna say thank you for everything, every fussing, every time I put you out of my room, every time I called your mama, you're gonna say, Miss Davis, yeah, that's the one. Right. So I just keep it pushing with that, knowing that I'm impactful to those kids, and I give the rest of it to God, for real.
So with you being a poet and an entertainer, do you bring any of those elements into the classroom with the students? Do you bring any kind of art curriculums into your process?
So I have.
Yeah.
I can recall working as an interventionist in one of the districts. It was Poetry Month. So, you know me, I'm if y'all give me a little bit, I'm going to go with it. And they was like, well, we're going to let you go into a couple of classrooms and you can, you know what I'm saying, have your freedom to do whatever. And I had a rough 4th grade classroom one year. Like, they looked at me when I came in the door like, is this the sub? Like, they was ready to get me. And I'm small, dude, you know what I'm saying? I wear the same size shoe as a lot of these kids, you feel me? So when I came in the door, they were kind of already like resistant and all of that. But when we got down to the elements of it and how important it is to know your audience, how important it is to get them to feel, how important it is to deliver a message and use, you know what I'm saying, your throat chakra to make it happen for people in the space, because my voice may be the voice that you feel like you don't have. Man, them kids, when I tell you they ding, they tuned in so heavy they was clapping and snapping. Like I taught them etiquette. Like when you go to a poetry show, you don't scream and shout, you clap, you snap. They had their binders, their books, like they were in tune. Like it was like a poetry show. With the little ones that I have now, not so much. And I teach math and science. So if anything, I go in there like Miss Frizzle. Like I do the whole like goofy, like the clothes, the glasses, the science stuff, like all of the things. But I find ways to keep it entertaining. And then when it comes to poetry, a lot of the times my audience is adults. So I have to make sure that I have things in my pocket for my kids when the time does come. But every poetry month, I make sure I spit a piece, if not for my kids, for my colleagues. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it be, man, come in the workroom real quick so I can get y'all this work because I know y'all feeling how I'm feeling. And they sit there and they listen and they resonate and they like, ooh, you said it so woo woo wop. Like, it's therapy. It's therapeutic. And sometimes we just, if it's not the kids, I'm definitely going to spit for my colleagues every time. Every time.
Well, I can't wait to see you perform in a little bit.
Hey.
So look, before we get up out of here, let the people know where they can find you at on social medias and all of that good stuff.
Follow me on Instagram at Bella the Speaker. Since I'm back outside, I'm moving around. I have things coming up. And if you want to see me perform, which is going to be a treat anytime and every time, make sure you follow me, tap in. I also have my... We're going to get into that. Follow me and you'll see what I'm talking about. Follow me and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm moving around. I'm doing a couple of things. I've networked with a couple of different artists, a couple of different groups. I try to keep myself in a space where I'm not in one place. I think that was my biggest thing when I first started. So I'm all over the place. And if you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, see what I got going on, Bella the Speaker on Instagram. I follow back. I ain't bougie, you feel me? I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, tap in.
Yeah, y'all follow my girl, man. She's a dope poet and she got a lot of stuff coming up. So look here, man. We're going to take us a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we got some more dope artists in the building. So stay tuned because this is the Artist Access. And your access has now been granted. Yeah. My homeboy made that track there. That shit came out too. Yeah. Damn, I can't get a hug or a kiss. So why can't you clean up the house and have a cooked meal sometimes when I come home?
I'm not your mama.
And I ain't your daddy either.
Look, I already told you I'm not going to be dealing with you if you're going to be doing all this going out of town. I already know you got a female up there. That's why you going.
I was looking for you, but I didn't see your car. Okay. What you looking for my car for?
D-Ray must got it again.
So how did you even do that?
I had to reschedule. If you would have given me a debit card to get some real gas money, I would have went.
Okay, so where have you been? You've been gone in the car all day. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Is there anyone else?
Look, somebody's up come on in.
You are my husband. You've been gone all night, and you don't think I should question you about it?
I don't put nothing past these hoes, you feel what I'm saying? They get all dressed up and go out to eat with their work husbands, you feel me?
Babe, let me just talk to you about some business.
Not at the moment. I'm a little busy.
We can talk about it on the way. You want to take my car or yours?
No, I'm gonna need that time alone in the car to think. I'm going to lunch. I'll be back.
First they get busy, then they get distant.
Welcome back to the Artist Access. Look, I am here with another phenomenal dope poet in the building. She goes by the name of The One. How are you doing, Miss Queen?
Hey, yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yes.
Always grateful for the opportunity.
Yes.
To be seen.
Yes, ma'am.
It's amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
To see and to be seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the name The One. How did you come up with The One?
Okay, so I had problems trying to figure out a name because I was like, okay, so where do we go with this? You don't want to be like everybody else.
Right.
Everybody else, most of their names, for the most part, it's like a showboat name. I'm not a showboat. I say what I'm gonna say. I mean what I say. So when you mean what you say, you're not the two, you're not the three, you're the one. Because I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna mean it, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes deep in it.
Yeah.
Period. You like it, great. If you hate it, that's fine too. Right. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I take it either way.
Right.
Yeah.
So look, take us back to like the beginning journey of you being a poet. How long you been doing this poetry thing?
Oh wow. I maybe about 11 years. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
So it has definitely been a journey. I have definitely had some bums. You know, a lot of people don't want to admit when they fail, or I won't even say fail. I would just say sometimes you have to get knocked down and get back up.
Yeah.
So I actually had moments to where I was riding high in my poetry, and then when I faced a big crowd, I just froze. Like my heart would be speaking, but my lips and my tongue was like, "Oh no, ma'am, we're not doing this today." And I was just like, wow. And then certain people were there, and I was just like, I mean, I've been in crowds to where it was like a rap battle. They were like that in the crowd. Their arms were folded because they heard.
Yeah.
I was in this one thing where we were in the running for prizes. And I'm like, okay, bet. And you performed, and then if you made it, then you came back the next week. You know, like if you're in the top 3, you came back the next week and you ran for those. What happens is they pass the little thing around to the audience. And the audience put in certain money for you or whatever, or for you two performing for that, the top 3 performing or whatever, because it was a mixed crowd. You know, you got your singers, you got your rappers. I was the only poet at that time, well, that day. So he was like, okay, you got to come back Tuesday. And I was like, I work. Then I worked 7 days on, 7 days off. I was like, I would have to return the following week because I can't. He was like, cool, we'll hold. Okay. So I'm all excited, you know, got my little fit ready and everything. And I was like, man, I got up there. And I was just like, shit. Yeah, no. I even had a cousin that I had never met before. He was videotaping it. It was just so embarrassing to me. And I was just like, I can never show my face again. That hurt.
Right. But
that
you
hurt.
came back.
Man, I had to, because thing about me is I started writing out of anger.
You okay?
And I was like, okay, I'm too cute to go to jail.
Yeah.
And I'm stocky.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna know what team I'm playing for.
Right.
Can't do that. Honesty. Can't do that.
Yeah.
So I need an outlet. I played sports too, but in home life, what do I do with that? I can't hit everybody. I want to most of the time, because some people do deserve it. But you can't go through life hitting people. You know, some people do need to be slapped. Come on, you could agree with that. But I can't go through life doing that.
Right.
So I had to put myself in check. I do a self-check every day. And was like, no, we need a deep outlet. Like an outlet you can take anywhere you go that can actually affect other people, because somebody feels the way you feel. So I started writing. One of my coaches bought me a book. And I just started writing it. I got in trouble for some stuff that I wrote because I was honest. I wrote about my dad's girlfriend one time. Oh, he flipped. He didn't know she was doing some stuff that she was doing behind his back. And I wrote about it. So I got in trouble for that. But then when you are 15 and you are invited to travel to Connecticut for a personal writing teacher, your creativity is tapping into something. So I didn't want to just let it die. Those circumstances through kids, through my first marriage and all that, some things were deterrents. But at the same time, I was like, at the end of the day, D, gonna be D. I'm going to say what I got to say. Somebody going to hear me. So even sometimes if you just voice it out loud to yourself, it's therapeutic.
Right.
Because guess what? Some things you don't want to admit to yourself, when you say it out loud, it's like self say, huh, girl, I know you heard that. Sometimes it's your own channel.
That's that shadow work.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what it is.
Awesome.
That's
So
what it is.
poetry was a way for you to get some things off your chest, huh?
Man.
Little healing process, little journey.
Yes. So yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot.
That's awesome. What were some of the first platforms you started performing on out here? Since you go way back like that.
Oh, I don't know if you heard of Poet Pimp before.
Yeah, that's my homeboy.
Man, that man right there is so funny to me. I started out actually when I first started. I would just go to different spots. I wasn't under any particular, platform area, nothing like that. I was just like, let me test the waters. Let me see if I can actually stand to speak and just be a part of it. I mean, it wasn't no particular, I have to be with this platform, that platform. I performed with Poet Pimp a lot at the beginning. Okay. And it was just like...
What year you talking about?
Oh, God. So this is 25. Poet Pimp, I started performing with him maybe 18, 19.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like, I just got to get my feet wet.
Yeah.
Right before then, because this is actually my third book. Okay. My first book, my management team was SIA Management. And I actually went to 1 or 2 events where it was buku people, and he was like, oh, you going to hit the stage. Like... You don't just surprise me and tell me I'm going to hit the stage. But it was, most of everything I'm a part of is not with just poetry. It's poetry, comedy, R&B. It's anything, any artist. Right. So, I mean, you're going to meet people, you're going to run into people. You just get a chance to be a part of the environment of different types of creativity, different parts of people saying, this is who I am. You know, and I just love it. Right. So, yeah. And then now, you know, a lot of times I do stuff with Bell Out Entertainment and under Roro. She's an amazing singer.
Yeah, Roby singing.
Roby sang, my girl be singing. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just all a part of just moving and shaking.
Yeah. And you say you have 3 books out. So these are poetry books?
They're all poetry books. And, and I ain't gonna lie, this one right here. This is
the latest?
This is the latest.
What is it called?
Love, Truth, and Satisfaction.
Let me tell you something. I like that cover.
Thank you. I did not want to put out something that was, a lot of people like to put out things just with a bow on it. I want it to look pretty. I want people to just buy it. I don't want you to just look at it and buy it. I want you to say, that's my shit. I want you to say this poem, that poem. You can be able to say, oh, that helped me. Oh, that spoke to my spirit. Oh, yeah. Oh, I read this. This for my sister. I need to read that for her. It's certain things, you know, I even dug into my trauma in this book. So it's just like, I mean, I talk about it, just like the cover says, like my son Aaron said, because I get like different reviews from people. He was like, just like the cover says, that's what's in the book. That title is true for this book because I didn't sugarcoat anything. Right. And a lot of people don't want you to know about certain things. I'm like, no. Yeah, you see the face, but behind any great person or any person not afraid to speak their truth, there is trauma. Oh, yeah. Lie if you want.
Oh, yeah.
There's some type of trauma. You might not be ready to admit it or talk about it because some stuff is stronger than others and can still tap into what you're dealing with today. But some stuff I was just like, man, that hurt. That hurt. Like, there's one poem and it talks about, it's just telling my parents, like, I made it, though. It was some rough spaces, but I made it. So, growing up, my dad didn't have sons. I was his son. No, I'm a girl, full girl, full girl. Right, you know, right. Born a girl, all that. But I was the most like my dad, and so if you saw my dad, you saw me. Right. And it was just like if my hair was pulled back in the ponytail, you didn't know I was a girl unless you saw the boobs. Right. And it was just it was crazy. It was funny to us both. So even when we played basketball, they was like, oh, he got, and I turned around, they was like, yo, that's a chick. That's a girl. Right. And my dad's like, look, don't take it easy on her. She a girl, but when you see her play, you're going to forget she a girl. Yeah. And it was just that, and I loved it.
Are you from here?
I'm from Fort Worth. I'm from the funk booth. Okay, don't play with it.
How long you been out this way?
Oh, I've been out here for years. I came out here when I was pregnant with my firstborn. Shouts out to Ian. She just turned 22. Turned 22 last week. College grad. She's about to graduate. So my firstborn's about to graduate college. I'm so excited because she is thriving.
Congratulations.
So I've been out here for
like 20-something years.
22 and a half years. Yeah.
How you like it out here?
I love it. And actually, you know, a lot of people make a difference between Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth. Actually, there's not a big difference. You have the entertainment is the same. It's just that Dallas have moments where their rowdiness may look like it's uncontrollable. And Houston can be a little bit more subtle in some areas. But if you actually been around both sets of people, you'd be like, there's not a big difference. Okay. I never saw a big difference. Only difference that I really came to know when I first came down here was there's more land in Fort Worth. And when I came here, everybody kept saying, you can't be from here, you're too nice. And I was like, what's the deal with that? Because I've dealt with customer service all my life. And it was like, oh my God, you're so nice. You can't be from here. And I was like, I got that the first 3 years I was here.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's up with that? People in Houston not friendly? But I got that a lot.
Wow.
More than you would believe. I got that a lot. You can't be from here. You're too nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You
it
think
is
that
what it
is the
is.
scene a little bit more popping out here, the portrait scene, than in Dallas? You think, or you kind of see it the same?
I think. I don't really know. I performed in Dallas once. I had my own show in Fort Worth, which was amazing 2 years ago. But I've never performed in Dallas like that. I normally because most of the time when Dallas have stuff, I have to work.
Okay.
So I work Monday through Friday. A lot of poetry shows on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's not a lot of poetry shows on a Saturday.
Right.
So I haven't experienced a lot in Dallas, but the show I did go to in Dallas, which was for my birthday 2 years ago, was hot. It was good.
Yeah.
It was nice. I enjoyed myself.
You ever think about starting your own show out here? Like you talking about like a showcase type of show?
Yeah, me and my husband, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Shout out to my husband, Preston. Yeah, we've definitely talked about it because we have a lot of ideas that are not tapped into by anybody. So it's just like we're both excited about it, and we don't want to get too excited about it because a lot of times you get overexcited about stuff, and it does not go out smoothly because your excitement overrode the process of handling it properly. So you want to make sure you go step by step with handling these things in business, in theory, and how you want the setup to be versus rushing it because you just want it to be out there. You want to be seen. But no, you want to make sure it's done right, decent, and in order so that it's a success.
Right.
So yeah, we definitely have talked about it.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see you perform.
Yes.
Let the people know where can they find the books at. Where can they follow you to see where you're performing at and all of that good stuff. It's your camera right there.
Okay. So again, this is Love, Truth, and Satisfaction. You can find it on Amazon at Denise Sanders Reeves. You can actually find my second book on Lulu.com. It will be under Denise Sanders. And my first book is actually on Amazon too under Denise Sanders Guy. So if you look me up, you will be able to find me. You can find me at Sanders Speak on IG and Denise Sanders on Facebook. Appreciate you.
Yeah, y'all follow my girl, man. She got some dope poetry out here. You feel me? So look, man, we're gonna take us another quick commercial break. But when we come back, we got some more artists in the building. So stay tuned because this is the Artist Access, and your access has now been granted.
Yes.
No matter who you are, no matter where you go, everyone needs a taste of love.
Welcome back to the Artist Access. Now we are here with a poet who I've seen perform a couple of weeks ago. She was phenomenal. I ran into her a couple other spots. I remember seeing her perform at my homeboy wedding. She was a part of the little cipher thing there. And I've been seeing her around doing things. So when I saw her at this event, I said, hey man, you gotta get on my show, you feel me? So we connected, and we finally got her at this spot. So I want y'all to give it up to my girl, Shot. Trilla is in the building today. How you doing?
I am blessed. I'm divine.
Yes.
Thank you, Siraj Rich God.
You are blessed and divine.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. And I bought some products from you. The butter, awesome. You feel me? Because I'm a shea butter baby, right? I always fuck with the shea butter, and that stuff is better than the shea butter. I got to tell it to you. Yeah, so I'm gonna need some more of that. You know
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so let's go there first. Like, what made you started to make these products that you make?
So when I started my healing journey through my awareness, I would say I started working with herbs. Like Spirit just started telling me to grab these herbs, grab these herbs, grab these herbs, and I didn't know what I was grabbing it for. And then I started to steep these herbs over a period of time. And I didn't know what it was going to be used for until Spirit said, use it. I knew someone who was diagnosed with chronic high blood pressure. And then I say, cook with this. And I was like, cook with it? They say, yeah, cook with this. So I started to cook with it. And then they no longer had chronic high blood pressure or high blood pressure at all. So that was my first, testimony of what happens when you follow Spirit. And then what took it even further is it worked for my dogs too.
What did it do for the dogs?
So if the dogs had any like immune or any stomach thing and they also just, for some reason, they just liked it. Like, they knew I was eating it, and they would be grateful if I put it on their kibbles.
Right.
I saw how it helped the dogs just in a lot of different ways. You know, the bones, the joints, physical, because it works topical as well.
Right. And I also saw you got herbs in the butter too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that the same kind of herb you're talking about for the high blood pressure?
No, it's
something
a different
else?
recipe.
Okay. Yeah. So you make the butters, and what else do you make besides the butter?
I make the butters. I make jewelry. I make teas. So anything that's pertaining to health and wellness, as long as I'm confidently listening to spirit, and I trust the process, then those things, you know, with prayer and everything else, sometimes, you know, faith without works is, you know. So when we're speaking life over the situation, you're speaking life into yourself as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know, bringing that healing.
Yeah. That's awesome. How long you been tapped in with listening to your divine self like that?
I would have thought it would have been maybe in the last 15 years, but then now I start to hear stories, and then I feel my family. I start to hear their stories, and then they tell me of different things, of how I started walking in divine self-love as a child, things that we have to go back and remember who we were, you know, and I saw that I had given prescriptions of certain crystals to different people who still have their crystals to this day to show me who I was a long time ago, and that I didn't just become this.
Been that, yeah. That's why I asked you that. Been that, because I can remember getting my diaper changed, right? And I can remember not being able to talk yet with this physical mouth, but I can remember always talking with my voice in my head, right? Always having a conversation going on in my head. Just I viewed the world from that voice in my head. And I can remember always having a connection with Source. I wasn't taught about that. I always knew about it, and I always knew how close I was connected with Source. I always knew that, right? And just as I got older, that connection just got stronger and stronger and stronger, right? Yeah. So now let's get into the poetry and the arts, right? So how does the art and your poetry connect with all of this here going on, the healing and the herbs and all of that good stuff, and your divine self, right?
Okay. So actually, my childhood dream was to be, I said, a singer.
Me too.
So, unfortunately, I was told that I might not be good enough.
Huh?
Unfortunately,
Who told you that?
I was told to pick another passion. Unfortunately, but even the person who told me is now evolving.
They're in the believing. They're believing now.
And I had to keep going. You know, I had to keep going. And when I decided to just find myself and walk back in it, because I was going to go to school for radiology, I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I decided to go to school for radiology. I knew I could heal, but I didn't know what I needed to see. You know, so sometimes you don't need to see to heal. Sometimes you need to just allow yourself to be still and then give your medicine as it is given to you, because sometimes the prescription is a reflection. And the medicine of the music comes with the rhythms that I have in my soul, is the heartbeat. I also play like the djembe and the congas. I know you haven't seen that, but I do play the djembe and the congas, and I heal through that frequency. I heal through spoken. I heal through vibration. I heal through, well, first of all, light is vibration.
Right.
And I understand my light, and I understand that we have to walk through the shadows. So that's why I really wore this duality, because no matter what the circumstances is, there's always going to be a rhythm, a progression, you know, and I never want to leave out the culture, as we understand our pain in the trauma, in the past, but sometimes it does not have to go forward when you speak it into existence. So my music is about progression, liberation, and I just found myself when I step on stage, it's a completely different energy.
So you do music and poetry.
I would say that everything is poetry.
That's see. I feel like telling everybody. I be telling people like they got. I know people that sing right, and they be like, I wish I could do poetry. I was like, you do poetry. What you doing is poetry. Take away the music and your lyrics is poetry, right? But they don't see it like that. But to me, all of the arts are poetry. Paint, whether you dancing, painting. I got a poem called "God is a Poet." To me, God creating everything is poetry because God is expressing Himself through His creation.
Absolutely.
Right. So, but yeah.
So that's my belief as well. Anything from a tree growing out of the ground that had to be watered first, or sometimes, if where grounds were burnt, it actually, after those ashes and stuff, it actually betters the cultivation. So sometimes you just have to go through your liberation stage. You got to go through that phoenix and you got to rise, because what is fate and what is destiny, it can't be stopped by a mere fire or a mere distraction. You get on your stage and you get delivered as you deliver. So.
Oh yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Okay, so how long you been singing and everything?
My whole life. I started in church.
When you got on stage though, how long you been on performing on these platforms out here in Texas?
Well, on the platforms, more recently, I just started putting myself out there. I just hit 100 subscribers the other day.
Yeah. Congratulations.
So I was excited about that, And I actually, first time I ever hit the studio was April Fool's 2009.
Okay.
And I just actually started putting myself out there and just say, you know what, I'm just going to have to work on my confidence. I had to do my shadow work. I have to work on just being a vessel, as I know I'm healing you, but I'm also y'all healing me. So it's
an even exchange.
It's a give and exchange, you know. So we are not alone.
Right.
So you got to exist with everybody. You got to be able to cultivate, sow a seed, and bring the light, because everybody can't directly handle God's light, but you can sometimes hold it enough to light that candle. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. So what you gonna perform for us today?
So today I'm gonna do "No One More Worthy." It is on all platforms.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be doing "I Sing to You This Song." It is also on all platforms, but I will be doing it a cappella, so I can give it to y'all.
That's what it's called. "I Sing to You This Song."
It's a reflection, so it's singing to.
Yeah. Do you have any albums out?
Albums.
Got some singles out on the platform?
I got a lot of songs out. I have one called "Berry from the Vine," and that's one of my newer ones. And it's about when that berry, like the strawberry or that blackberry, and you see it and it's time for you to pick it.
Yeah.
You go and pick it. You don't have time to let it wither or let a squirrel or something get it. That's your blessing, That's your gift from God. So that's why I call that song Berry from the Vine,
That's awesome. So like I was telling you earlier, we do the Artist Access Experience. We were doing the next one in a couple of months, or maybe next month. I'll let you know, but I would love to have you on the platform. Okay. And as well as the other poets who've been here today. I would love to have all of y'all on that Artist Access Experience, like a whole vibe, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let the people know where can they find your music and your social media right quick.
Okay, my music is on all platforms. You can find me under Sha, SHA, apostrophe Trilla, SHATRILLA. And I am on Instagram, Sha, SHA _TRILLA. On Facebook, as of now, it is Iya Ogunlewa, IYAOGUNLEWA. And just look for me with the hat, and you'll know it's me. But, we have many, many multifaceted people out here, and we just allowing ourselves to grow and bloom. Sometimes you got to water somebody else's flower, and I just thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation, Yeah. I started this platform because I love to hear people's stories and how they're connecting it to whatever God's giving them and how they're using it, and having a conversation and telling people about your gift and how you're using it the people that's watching, it'll help them to tap into their gifts that they have. Because I know a lot of people, like when we have these shows performing, there's a lot of people in the audience who want to be up there doing it, right? And they're still dealing with fears, and they're scared to get up to do it. But so when they see us, and the more we share our gifts, and the more we talk about our gifts, they can relate to it, and they can break through them fears and conquer that stuff and get on stage and give us their gift. Because like we performers too, but we want to see other people's gifts too, you know.
Absolutely.
And so I love to see people perform and be great at what they do. It keep my flame lit. You know what I'm talking about? Even though I keep it lit myself, but we all are part of this one fire, right?
Right.
And so as each of us express and share our gifts, we just keep this thing going. You know?
That's right. As I started to step out and put myself out there over the past year, and I've been captivated by the community and just how, some people show you God's love. And when you step into a place and God is there, then you know that you're in a safe place, So with that love, it kind of embraced me like a whirlwind almost, but not a negative whirlwind, a whirlwind of complex emotions that allow healing and understanding to take place, And so I appreciate those poets who have supported me and shown me divine love, and I have stepped on stage and then I get medicine from them. So when I first started going to the scene, I didn't know that how I would be moved by others. I didn't see that reflection until it was shown to me, and I put myself out there. So I appreciate that balance and that energy and that everything. It takes a village to not just raise a child, but each other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Awesome. So look, I can't wait to see these performances. So look, we're gonna take us another quick break. So y'all stay tuned. When we come back, these artists will be performing. So look, stay tuned. This is the Artist Access, and your access has now been granted.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Artist Access. We're here with our last interview for the day.
Yep.
Oh, we got my brother in the building, the one, the only. We got Salah.
Talk about
in the
it.
building. What's
I'm
going
here.
on, guy? Yeah.
It's love.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you having me, God.
Yes, sir.
It's
Man.
love.
So I met this brother when I interviewed this queen, and he pulled up. He came with her, and I didn't know the brother was doing the new shit. I had seen him posting the videos.
Yeah.
His new clothing brand, not brand, but it's like a
it's a poetic thrift store.
Thrift store.
Yeah, poetic thrift store.
I saw the video of poets going there and get dripped up and laced up and getting fresh.
Facts.
And when he came with her for the interview, I found out that was them. That
was
their
us.
stuff, right? So
right.
I had the pleasure of being on the platform.
For sure.
And we had an amazing experience.
Amazing.
Look,
yeah, that's
the experience was so
crazy.
Like we just really, they pretty much interviewed me. I didn't know y'all did interviews too. I thought it was just poets come there and get laced up in clothes and that was it. But it was a whole vibe.
Straight up.
They had the BlackBerry waiting on me when I
Straight
got
up.
there. You know what I'm talking about?
Big bottles.
And we started talking.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get past the conversation. Like conversation got
Right.
so good that we didn't even get to the outfit part.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we
And
was
so we talked for hours.
Real
I think
drip.
I got there at 7 o'clock and I left at like 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. in the
damn
morning,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We
All
was talking,
conversation.
bro.
All conversation.
And
No
look,
clothes.
the conversation was minute. Like he got to know
Facts.
me. Like I mean,
Facts.
I came in as a fellow poet,
Yeah.
but I left with a brother and a sister. That's how
Word.
I felt like
Word.
I felt like I found a brother and a sister.
Word.
That's how deep we connected tonight, right?
Right.
So I want I appreciate you
No doubt.
for allowing me to express myself.
No doubt.
Because
Yeah.
everybody don't get to have a sit down with me like that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so it was awesome, bro.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was monumental.
Yes, sir.
It was a shift. Actually, it was a shift for us too, bro. It really was. You know what I'm saying? Because all we was doing was, meeting poets and dripping them, right? But then it's like when you came through and the whole night was just convo from the moment you walked in the door. It was just conversation. We've never had that. You feel what I'm saying? From beginning to end, you dripped us. Yeah, you lacing us, bro. So it was definitely monumental for new shit, bro. Appreciate it.
Now I just recently, my man just performed at the Weagle Live.
For sure. Oh, that was crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
My first time seeing him spit.
For sure.
And he had a whole set. You feel me? He came out with a whole little set.
Yeah. What you thought about it? What you think about it?
That was fire.
For sure.
That was fire, bro. And then I didn't know the ladies were all a part of. They had been on the new shit platform.
Yeah.
Which
all of them
was dope too.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it's supposed to look like you had the goddesses in front of you.
For sure.
And they just stayed by them just standing and holding their spot. It set the stage. It gave the energy. It was fitting for what you were speaking about, right?
Word.
That's what it was.
Word. That's what it was.
The poem you spoke.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that last poem you did? You did one.
I did.
Something about the Messiah. What it was called?
So the first one I did was the Messiah type.
Okay.
That was the first one.
Was so hard,
the Messiah type. Yeah. So that was inspired. If somebody asks you like, what's your blood type? Yeah. I'm Messiah type, bro. You feel me? Yeah, I'm Messiah type. Yeah, that way. And so the next one was I saw God for the first time. That was the second poem. I saw God for the first time. Yeah.
That's why I said.
Yeah.
The presentation was fitting
for
what you brought to the stage, right?
Right. Salute to the queens, bro.
So how did you put that? What made you come up with the idea to do it like the way you did it like that?
All right. So initially, me and my partner Destiny, right? We at the house, man. We, first she came up with the Coming to America theme. We was gonna do like the Coming to America, the dropping the rose petals, because when you came into new shit, that's what you saw with the petals. So she was like, let's do that. So then it shifted from the Coming to America joint to Belly. Yeah, that's what you saw. It was the Belly concept. Yeah, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So we went with that. And so we just had 4 women in the movie Belly that we felt like was like, yeah, let's rock with this. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I played both characters. I played Tommy and Sincere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it was just me. So it was like me plus the women, and it's like, yeah, this is what we on right here. Yeah, that's how that kind of came about.
Man. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
So look, before we get up out of here,
for sure.
Take us back to the beginning of your poetic journey.
Let's do it.
Like, how did it all start for you as being a poet out here, man?
Being a poet. So, 2006, I had listened to a record by the name of B from the rapper Common. He dropped a record called B. I listened to that record, and he has a song on there called Faithful.
What is God?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, that song. And I was like, this ain't no rap song. This is a poem. Yeah, and that's what inspired me to write my first poem. And then from there, it just went. So since 06, I wrote my first poem in 06. I performed my first poem in 07, man. I've been rocking ever since. Yeah, ever since I've been rocking, bro. I jumped off the porch 07, Poetry Lounge. Yeah, when it was Shadow Ball. When it was Shadow Ball, yeah. Yeah, when it was Shadow Ball, when the line used to be around the corner, when you had to stand in line to spit. Yeah, it was crazy then. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm from that cloth. I'm from that cloth. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that's how it started. And I've had my breaks in between. Like I'm kind of like I do like 3 or 4 years on, then I'll step away and just live. You know what I'm saying? I feel like living life is what gives you new material. So I step away for 3 or 4 years, then come back for 3 or 4 years, then leave again, come back. So this is like I'm on my third round right now. You know what I'm saying? Since I stepped on the scene, since I jumped off the porch. So, I think this one, I feel like this may be my last go round. You know what I'm saying? So I'm meaning to get it. And then once once it's a wrap, man. Because now I think it's new poets on the set that's handling their business. And as an OG, sometimes you need to know how to step away and just let them get their shine. Because that's what OGs did for me. Oh man, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Let me step aside and let you shine. So I'm doing the same thing. Yeah.
You got the new shit thing going on.
For sure. That's the transition. For sure.
And I think that's an awesome concept, right?
Right.
And like I said, for me coming there and experiencing it,
Yeah.
it's so dope.
Appreciate you.
Like
Yeah.
I said, the way you get in touch with the artist,
Right.
before you start to style them, and that's part of the process of styling.
That's
you're trying to get to know who the
exactly
artist is, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You gotta get to know who they are, and then from knowing who they are, that's how you style them. Yeah. We make all things new, bro. Yeah. It's amazing how somebody can put on some drip and feel different. We've seen it happen. They come in one way, they leave another, like off some clothes, some stitchings. You know what I'm saying? So we understand the power in that. God is in that too. Yeah, he in that too, for sure.
Now I learned something the night you performed when we go live. I didn't know that you and
Free.
not free, Scott Free. Yeah, Scott Free.
Scott Free.
I didn't know that y'all go back as far as y'all go back, and I didn't know
Oh,
y'all were
08.
hosting
Yeah.
a show together at one time.
08, live and direct at the Midtown Lounge. This is another name now. It's right across the street from Phil and Derek's. So it was called the Midtown Lounge then. This is like 08, 09. This was like, probably 09. Yeah, me and Scott Free, we tapped in. So the short story of that, I go to the lounge one day, and I tell them like what I'm trying to do. They say, yo, only day we have available is Sundays. And at that time, Poetry Lounge was the venue on Sundays. So they say, man, only day we got is Sundays. I say, well, that's cool. It's the only day you got. I'm going to rock with it. Right. Scott Free came to the first show. He came to the first show. He was just an artist. He showed up. He looked around. He said, bro, I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Let me help you out with it. You know what I'm saying? And we just brotherhood from there. Yeah, we became a brotherhood from there, bro. You know what I'm saying? We tapped in. Yeah, live and direct. Yeah. Now we go live.
You thought about coming back out with something?
I've thought about it many a times,
Yeah.
but I think new shit, I'm so
It's
like,
the evolution of that.
it's the evolution of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's going from, I went from opening up a venue where poets can come and spit poems to now the new poem is what you have on. Nice poem you got on, bro. I want to see, because that's what people see when they first see you. They notice your drip, your fashion. That's how you express yourself. So I'm more passionate in that. So that's my transition out of the poet, being a poet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to spit poems no more. I can wear it. I can wear it. Yeah, for sure.
You ever did any acting throughout these years of doing poetry? Any film work?
Yeah, actually, bro, I have a continuous series in my mind right now that I'm working on, bro.
Okay.
It's a continuous series, bro.
We need to put that out, bro.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna happen. Like I believe it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen, bro. It has to happen. Yeah, God God vibes. It has to.
I believe, look, I tell people if you're a poet, you're an actor too.
Facts.
Because you're a performer. And
You're a
acting is just
performer.
performing, right?
That's all it is.
So, people think it's something, I can't do that, but acting is just being real. It's being regular.
It's just being,
We
that's
just,
it.
It's just a stage
Facts.
being regular.
Facts. That's it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
A choreographed scene of you being regular.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
how
it.
you act, you know what I'm saying? So,
That's all it is. So yeah, I think that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, bro. I believe it. I see it.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
So look, man, I can't wait to see y'all perform, brother. Before we get up out of here, bro, let the people know where they can find the new shit platform at.
Let's do it.
The IG page, your personal page.
Let's do it.
All of that good stuff. Where can I find Salah?
You can find Salah on Instagram. Salah _with_saint. So that's SELAH _WITH_SAINT. That's on IG. And then for new shit, you can also find us at _NUSHIT. Tap in with us. It's there. Yeah, tap in.
So now,
Yeah.
we're finally get to see the artists perform.
Let's work.
So y'all stay tuned.
Right.
We're going to be back in a flash. This is the Artist Access. And your access has now been granted.
Yo.
Yeah.
For sure. That was good. Peace, God.
Thank you, brother.
Breaking ground. Authentic substance. Knocking hard at one time, but now in flight, time to rock the mic. In spite of my differences and difficulties, pressing on. Man, I'm so strong for hanging on this long. And still, I had to put my dukes up to fight, so when I grow up to move up like Wheezy, will you be the George to the east side of town? Like I said, no time for just making sounds, because I'm breaking ground. It's time that I opened up my mouth and roar like the lion that I was born to be. So, free to rise and free to fall. But it's the experience that helps to fuel it all. If I whistle is not background music, but a theme song, been quiet for so long, bold in my boldness, but wouldn't speak. Strong in my strength, but was too afraid to be called a freak. It's crazy, because that's what I am. Wow, I finally said that out loud. Growth and knowing and fearless and showing. I'm afraid of heights, but up is definitely where I'm going. So, Funky Town, stand up while I'm holding it down, because I'm breaking ground. So up high to look down low, no pit stopping it with glitters and glows, but aiming for potential arrows to reach my goals. Connected to much David and Goliath, the one smart but big. Before falling, I catch myself more than 6 inches before hitting the earth's soil. Suited up for mental battle, DMA made to knock you down. Open mind, but not identity. My bloodline so hot when I hit the parking lot, you sweat, aim me steady at eye level. Unloading my ambitions, no strikes but numbers. Count on me, not backing out. And I'm allergic to silicone and Botox. I got my own and only gravity can bring it down. So I'm breaking new ground on you clowns like construction in your backyard. Like I said, no more time for just making sounds because I'm breaking ground. One.
Come on.
And last one moment. In my quiet time, I sit in mental conversation with that moment. Blank stares, closed eyelids, daydreaming about us. To be or not to be, but I can still feel your king-size hands around my waist, holding me close. Us fumbling each other's hearts and scoring a touchdown on the other's behalf. And you making me laugh with all my pain and anguish, setting aside stereotypical bullshit and placing love above it all. And still I fall to this one moment. Us knowing each other's flaws and still kissing each other's lips like we lived in our own village on top of a hill. Us picking cherries and spinning watermelon seeds, racing to the top to see who would wash whose feet. Accelerated, elevated heart levels just to lie next to royalty. Us king and queen on silk sheets, our scents. And each other's noses competing with the heat. And us carrying the love torch even as we sleep. I mean, baby, how deep do you dive into my heart just to remove the doubt? I then had to shake myself and open my eyes, but only to realize in that one moment, baby, you just weren't strong enough to pull it all out. One moment, one. Thank you.
They say you don't know what you got till what you got is gone. But they never stopped to think about the absence of the mind being a breath of fresh air to the lung after that jab to the heart. I erase people like letters on a page, misspelled, grammatically incorrect, colors outside the lines, bringing about my anxiety. You people gave me anxiety. You people were mistakes, typos on the books, pages of my life. You people drew me out to be chicken, afraid of letting other people in. It's too much and not enough. So I erase people like they never existed. Because who is this poem even about for real? Peace.
I be the Messiah type. Full beard, no fear of no man or no thing. I stand second, only to him who created all man and all things. Nigga, I'm solid, all substance. Original man, supreme king, heart of a hustler, mind of a G. I'm highly educated. No credits, no college, no degree, no problem. I received my master's from the master himself. I'm a bona fide scholar, new age apostle, dope boy / disciple. I excel in understanding wisdom and knowledge. I'm cut from the creator's cloth himself, just like a fear God essential garment. Nigga, I'm the Messiah type. I'm lamb-hearted, goat conscious. Translation, I be the least amongst my brethren because the greatest of all time must first be servant. Salah, think about it. You see, man don't see as God sees, for man sees what's physical, but I'm spiritual. Spoken into existence, I'm biblical. The word made flesh, Emmanuel. You see, I'm anointed like the Messiah was. I'm chosen like the Messiah was. I'm also a son of David, literally, just like the Messiah was. I be the Messiah type. Salah. Come on.
my problem is with me. Conquer the storm within, or give your life trying. Some battles are worth dying. This is the land of the mighty. No one more worthy. There's no one more worthy. No one more worthy. Some nights are worth crying for. You and I. You and I. No one more worthy. Some nights are worth crying for. Battles worth dying for. You and I, 'cause I am more. There's no one more worthy. Some nights are worth crying for. Battles worth dying for. You and I are desiring more. No one more worthy. For nights I've been searching. It's like eternity. In my battle cry, couldn't write or read. And the seeds that I've sown grew the poetry. Watered by pain and love, filtered by your desire. When your back is against the wall, you gotta uproot like an elephant above below. Heaven sent a breather. I'm unraveling the rainbow. When it rains, we in the same boat. Like a stranger in a manger, I'ma have to rearrange ya. Some nights are worth crying for. Some battles are worth dying for. If you and I desire more, then there's no one more worthy. Some nights are worth crying for. Some battles are worth dying for. If you and I desire more, then there's no one more worthy. Some nights are worth crying for. Mother Earth, she gives and receives. To birth and awakening, with some stars in the making. You got your eye on me. I charge my ions.